Good morning, everyone. Brian here with BMK Retro Gaming. This morning I have a review for you guys of the Atari VCS 2600 homebrew game, Muncher 77. Now, it's one of the few homebrew games which was bundled with the Hypercam Retron 77's original firmware. And it's also on my Atari 2600 collection 6.4 firmware update. So, it happens to be pretty common. Now, the original game was produced by, the developer's name was Rick Skrida, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's pretty unique spelling. But he worked on it under, and it ended up being published under a company name of Packrat Games in 2012, though I'm not sure the entire development time before that. The Hyperkin Retron 77's Muncher 77 version of it is basically considered to have, at least from its own screen, it says that it came out in 2013. Well, there was also a re-release of the original game, it looks like, Muncher, in 2016, which it was supposed to have had either a purple box or purple cartridge label or whatever, and in any case, from what I've been able to tell, the original Muncher and Muncher 77 are pretty much identically the same game. It looks like all they did was slap 77 into the title to give it the more direct association with the Hypercam Retron 77, but I can't tell that it's a different game otherwise. So, I would say that the two games are pretty well interchangeable as just a renaming of the same game and aren't really even different versions. Anyway, it's an okay, pretty fun game. The whole synopsis and all is supposed to be that you're supposedly have crash-landed your spaceship onto an alien planet and all the food inside of it has been ejected out, forming a type of food maze. And you need to go out and munch and eat it all before it spoils or something like that. And there are aliens out who are going to attempt to stop you and kill you, so you have to avoid them. It ends up being a very, very simplified munching game, which I think it would remind many people, maybe, it's not quite a maze game necessarily, you don't have anything much of a defined maze. In fact, you pattern out how you want to munch through the food that you are supposed to have, that you're supposed to be munching, and there's no set pattern you have to take to do that. So I've kind of come up with my own over time. So in other respects, though, it might remind someone of the old dot maze munching games, or dot games like that, Pac-Man and such, as it does have a similar feel. My friend James Witt, you'll probably find this would be interesting if you haven't checked it out on your own yet. I'm well aware that James does also have a Hypercam Retron 77 and enjoys it quite a bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't already been plugging away this one some, since I know that this type of game is typically up his alley. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get us set up with my Hypercam Retron 77, and we're going to take a look into some gameplay. Okay, so here we go. Right there, and as you guys can see, there's the Muncher, and 77 says 2013. Okay. You just basically use your joystick to move, and, there's supposed to be 9 different levels before they repeat with 2 screens apiece. I've only got through the first 2 screens at best before, so it's actually a pretty challenging game for what it is. And down there, that little blue bar is a speed boost. You press your button to start and get moving. I'd have to watch him. That is the alien. Not sure about anyone else, but the shape and all kind of reminds me like it might have. It reminds me of the one from Yar's Revenge. Maybe that's where it came from. He does have a. Oh shoot! Can't gum you. Oh, I'm not gonna play that little game with you. Reset. He does have something of a pattern you can follow, as you can see. So you kind of have to learn to just wait for him and stay out of his way. And don't slow down too much. Oh, and you will lose points if you dawdle and are not munching, so bear that in mind. And then you have one more weapon in your arsenal, which is that blue bar down at the bottom. As long as you have something in it, you can continually press your button for a speed boost. Damn. I hate when the idiot does that to me. I'm not lose a life on the first level, but if I keep on griping out with myself, we're more than likely going to be here all day, so you can't be serious. Okay, so he's going to make me do this all over again. And this video is not ending until I get through this screen 1 of the first level, so deal with it. Anyway, the speed boost can come in handy. Sometimes it can help you stay out of his way, but if you pay enough attention to both him and the pattern you're munching through, he does indeed have a pattern by which you can learn to avoid and stay out of his way. I'm not going to do this with you. Just trying to kill me all on the first daggum screen of the first level, you stupid game. Nice homebrew game, but I hate games which try to do that to you on the very, very first level or the first screen of the first level. That's just an indication that somebody knows how to moderate their game's difficulty. Games that do that to you, to me, would come off as being too tough for anybody. This one's not so bad about it, but a lot of it's my own fault. Recording and trying to talk to you guys at the same time, not so easy. Stop, damn. I said enough. I'm gonna be punked out by some damn software program. Anyway, yeah, like I said, it's kind of demonstrating for me. This thing does have a fair degree of difficulty to it. There is a learning curve for learning how to get through it. without having... I don't... Okay. That's it. I was hoping to get through this without this having to drag out too much, but apparently this game is not going to be cooperative today. Stop! Anyway, it's at least partially strategy about, staying ahead of him, watching his pattern, and not getting nailed in the process. It's also a good deal of timing, too. Because his pattern that he uses against you does not really change much, but the more time you sit there and dawdle and waste and lose points to it, the more he's going to get away from the pattern you've been using to avoid him, and the worse it gets trying to stay out of his way. And there we go. Now I'm on screen 2 as it turned to purple. Didn't take so much after I finally shut up and started to concentrate some. It can be, like I said, challenging and frustrating. It's a game with something of an inherent difficulty, so... Stupid. And that's my game over again, and I think you guys get the idea with the gameplay. It does get a bit more intricate, such as with the head, which I still say kind of reminds me of the one from Yar's Revenge. Getting to be larger and other things, but... Anyway, I'm pretty sure you guys get the idea with the gameplay by now, so... Okay, so that was Muncher, 77. A 2012, 2013, and 2016 homebrew game for the Atari VCS 2600 by Rick Scabrina. I don't know how exactly you pronounce it. If you guys got a good glimpse of what that looks like on screen, yeah, you try to pronounce it. No offense intended to him, of course. And I must also somewhat apologize for my frustrations and outbursts of various types, but that's what a game like this sometimes gets me going on. I'll sit there and be cursing at it. But I still wouldn't call this a bad game. It's just one where you're going to have a lot more patience than I felt like putting into it this morning. Which I think some would probably definitely understand. Anyway, it's a pretty decent game. I'd suggest if you guys have a Hypercube Retron 77 to emulate it with, you should try it that way. There is a way to get a physical copy, though they've been out of stock here recently, and I'm not sure when it might be back in stock. But physical copies are also available to buy. Though, as far as I know, those are just as much of the original Muncher without the 77. But like I said, they appear to be, as far as I can tell, the exact same game, except for the title change. Anyway, I couldn't really find any videos on Muncher 77 itself. Now, on the other hand, two of my preferred YouTubers, Neo Tokyo 2001, and a new one of mine, Arcade Punks, both happen to have nice videos featuring the original Muncher game, which, again, you wouldn't tell the difference. There really isn't one beyond title. So I'll go ahead and leave links to both of those so you guys can check those out if you like. I believe in Arcade Punk's case it's more of a short video, so not even a minute long, but it's a nice peek. And I will go ahead and there's no Wikipedia article or anything like that, so I can't share that. Anyway, if you guys enjoy my channel's content, please like, share, and subscribe. And please feel free to leave any questions, comments, or suggestions down in the comment section below. You guys take care, have a good morning, and I will see you again in my next video.